Alright, so this is another somewhat impromptu reaction video that I'm doing. If you missed the recent one that we did a couple days ago with the new trailer for the Elden Ring DLC, which is very exciting. I just got back from my class like maybe 10 minutes ago, so forgive me if I'm a little scatterbrained. But the Pokémon Presents aired today, as it's Pokemon Day. And if you weren't aware, I am a very big Pokemon fan. I grew up with Pokemon. It's been a very sort of central part of my life growing up. So it does mean a lot to me. So as I always am, I'm very excited to see what they have to show here. I will preface in advance. I've been doing my absolute best for the past like hour or so to avoid spoilers. I am aware of a new game announcement, and I think I'm also aware of what the name is, and I won't spoil it here because we'll get to it when we get to it in the video, but I will say that it is very exciting, for me personally, and I'm assuming it's going to probably be the reveal at the very end. But I thought we would just watch through the presents, talk about it a little bit. If there's anything to analyze, we might do a little bit of analysis, but it's Pokemon, so probably not a whole lot of that. And yeah, if you want to see more of this sort of reaction-y sort of discussion content, because obviously this is quite a new thing I'm doing, definitely let me know, because I do really enjoy doing this sort of stuff. I love talking about games, and I would like to do it a lot more, in more forms than just this as well. Like I have ideas for like theory videos, for like more video essay type stuff, all things that I'd like to sort of pursue a little bit more going forward. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. I'm hoping the audio is going to be okay. And yeah, I'll try not to talk too much over stuff that's happening, but I'll probably do a little bit here and there, because it is a reaction after all. This was something that got pointed out when they first teased this, is they're using gold and silver music. And we have Unknown, which is very curious. I believe that just says EKOPEONS. Can I read inner notes? I'm not sure. PETQ maybe? NS. I think they're all jumbled up. I think that's the idea, and they're gonna say Pokemon Presents. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they'll show us that later. Okay. I'll try not to pause too much as well. I know that can be annoying.
Hello.
Also, pausing quite literally immediately after I said that.
Everyone.
There we go.
I'm Ishihara from the Pokémon Company. Today, February 27, is Pokémon Day.
Yes, indeed.
This is the date that the Pokémon Red and Pokémon Green games.
Oh, I love the
first
plushes in the
released
background. They're so
Our
cute.
adventures with Pokémon, which started with the simple fun of collecting, trading, and battling in the Pokémon Red and Pokémon Green games, have expanded to fit into so many facets of daily life, including
Very
walking
true.
and sleeping. We'll keep challenging ourselves to create new ways to enjoy Pokémon, and we hope you'll continue your adventures with us.
Pokemon very slowly
Today,
taking over every
we
facet of
will
life.
all the latest news about Pokémon, including our newest titles.
Titles plural.
Mr. Utsunomiya,
That's
please take it away.
curious.
Hello, I'm Utsunomiya from the Pokémon Company. I hope everyone has enjoyed their adventures in the Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet games so far.
I certainly
To
have.
commemorate Pokémon Day, we've planned a series of Terra Raid battle events
Oh,
where
that's
you'll be
very
able
cool.
to face off against a mighty Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard.
I don't currently have
The
access
first
to
of
these
Terra
games,
Raid
but
battle events will
I played through
begin
the base
tomorrow.
game, not the
We hope you will all enjoy these.
not the
raids.
DLCs, unfortunately.
Today,
But
I'd also like to share the latest updates on a number of our other games.
right,
Please have a look at this.
this is very typical. So I'm guessing this is going through all the mobile games and Unite and all that sort of stuff. Oh, I haven't played Pokemon Go in ages.
A collaboration event with Pokemon Go is on its way.
Ooh, I still need to watch this. I need to really catch up on the anime.
Pikachu wearing Cap's hat is making its debut.
Look at him.
It even knows an attack new to Pokemon Go, Volt Tackle.
Oh, interesting. Ceruledge, my
Charcadet,
boy.
Armarouge, and Ceruledge are coming too. And Liko and Roy will be dropping in when you snap a pic and go snapshot. So set out on an adventure with your new friends.
It's a cute little collaboration. Oh, they all have little hats. That's lovely. Pokemon Sleep. I played this for a little bit, but I'm terrible with sleep, very famously, so I kind of eased out of it. This animation is nice. We got our boy Raikou. What is he doing? Oh, he EP. Oh, he's so EP. I love the shading on these guys. Super pretty. Me after destroying the city's infrastructure. Cute. That's very sweet. Masters. I played this a little bit earlier on when it first was released.
I never give up. We're just getting started. We're the greatest.
Oh wow, that is like,
You're the
wait.
greatest and
Those are some crunchy visuals. Oh boy. Are they really that low resolution? Or did they just get like some really bad clips? That's very funny.
We're the greatest in the world.
I love Hot
You're
Gold
the
and Soul
greatest and
Silver.
strongest partner I could ask for. Fight!
This animation's great. Look at him go. Oh, that's a cool outfit. Wow, a lot of new stuff. I think people really like Masters from what I've seen. I've just not really engaged with it very much. Oh, and Pokemon Cafe, which I also tried a little bit of. I'm not really like a huge mobile game person, personally. But this one is very cute, as you can see. Giving Rhythm Heaven a little bit. Or like Wariowa. Very cute. I've always loved like the textured like painterly style of that game. And of course Unite. The least sweatiest Pokemon game by far. This is one that I actually haven't tried yet. I maybe should, although maybe I shouldn't. Oh, they're adding Ceruledge. That's cool. Neat. I've always loved all the like costumes that they do for Unite. I see them every now and then. They always look really neat. Paranoia. About halfway through. Wow. Hello, Pikachu.
Moving on, please have a look at this video.
Ooh. We're grooving. Oh, is this like a training card thing? It is. Huh. I've never been big on like the CCG, but I wonder if people are going to be interested in this, because I feel like the big appeal for like the card game is like having the physical cards to collect. So I don't know. I mean, this guy's popping off, so good for him. Yeah, I feel like most people that care about the card game are probably more inclined to just actually collect the cards. Although you can battle with them, so that's something. But again, I feel like the majority of people who engage with Pokemon cards don't really play the game, because there is a game, like it's a card game. But like the vast majority of people, at least from what I've seen, just don't really engage with it at all. This is very pretty. Oh. Just a weird tangent? Okay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people will find appeal in that. I'd be curious to know. It doesn't really appeal to me personally, but yeah, interesting.
What you just saw was the world's first look at Pokemon trading card game Pocket.
Indeed.
This game lets you easily collect Pokemon cards, which players all over the world have enjoyed since they debuted in 1996, but in a new digital format. The Pokemon Company is developing this game as a three-party collaboration with Creatures Inc., the creators of the Pokemon trading card game,
see.
and DNA, are partners in the development of Pokemon Masters EX. To mark the launch of this title, here's a message from Mr. Yuji
Yeah,
Kitano,
I'm curious to see if this takes off. I don't think it will, personally. I'm gonna just
Mr. Kitano,
say it straight
take it away.
up, but
Hello everyone, I'm Yuji Kitano from Creatures Inc. I'd like to start by thanking everyone
it is
for
giving
enjoying the Pokemon trading card game.
vaguely
With Pokemon trading
NFTs,
card
which
game
is a
Pocket,
little
we hope
concerning.
to bring you all a new way to enjoy the Pokemon trading card
I don't
game.
know.
So we are hard at work developing digital cards.
Yeah.
When we develop physical cards, we strive to please by taking great care with our paper quality, colors, and printing process. Since this game uses mobile devices rather than paper, we're challenging ourselves to express that care in new ways that are only possible digitally, such as using the characteristics of the screen to show off brilliant colors and stylish effects. One way we're accomplishing this is with immersive cards, which give players the experience of leaping into the world of the card illustration.
I see, that's what we saw.
What's
That's a cool
more,
idea,
we've
I'll give them
developed
credit
new
for that.
streamlined game rules based on our existing battle system, so you can enjoy a quick battle during the free moments in your day.
The one thing I can potentially see this doing is revitalizing the actual game
Our
element,
three
maybe.
companies are all working hard to deliver a fun experience.
Maybe
for
that's
those
more
you
of the
who already
focus, but
enjoy the
I'm not really
Pokemon
sure.
trading card game,
Again, like I
as
said,
well as
I'm
those
not
who've
super
never
big
played
on
before.
the card scene, so
We hope you look forward to the results of our latest efforts in the world of the Pokemon trading card game, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. Thank you
certainly
so
interesting.
much.
Thank you, Mr. Kitano. We plan to launch Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket within 2024. Please look forward to more details in
How
the
far
future.
in are we? Oh, we're getting there.
Just one more thing.
Just one more thing.
We'd like to end today's presentation with
So I'm assuming this is what we're here for.
Thank you for tuning in.
Let's see. Hello, Pikachu. And the unknown are back. What are they gonna say? They're saying, Soeywe. Is that right? No, I think it's meant to say see you, but they're muddled up. Maybe? I can't tell. Yeah, that's me right now. Real. But yeah, lots of allusions to Gold and Silver. The music, the presence of unknown everywhere. Very, very curious. So let's see, I guess. Game Freak. Confidential. Urban redevelopment plan. A vision of beautiful coexistence between people and Pokemon. Okay. This is pretty. Oh my. It's giving me similar vibes to the Alola when they originally revealed Sun and Moon, and they were showing all the little sketchy things. I'm gonna stop pausing because this is like the trailer, so I'm just gonna let this ride out, and then we can maybe hop back and like talk about it a little bit more if there's interesting details. I don't want to like slow down the pacing. Lots of digital stuff going on. Very curious. Okay. Seeing a lot of Gen 6. A lot of Gen 6. This looks like Lumia City. It is Lumia City, isn't it? Yeah. We've got Aegislash and Sylveon. Okay. This is giving like Lumia City, yeah. This is giving like street plans. Well, yeah, that's what it says. Redevelopment plan. It's like a city schematics. And this is what I saw. Pokemon Legends. Okay. Releasing worldwide simultaneously in 2025. Alright. I'll just let this finish if there's anything at the end. There is. Okay. I heard the sound and I was like, alright, yeah, they're bringing Megas back. So. This is where I'm gonna get bullied for being British, unfortunately. Which, you know what? Fair. Go for it. Pokemon Legends Z. I kinda like Z more personally, but whatever. So there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, it's a Legends game, which is extremely exciting for me. Legends Arceus was probably one of my favorite Pokemon games in recent years, because of how fresh and unique it was. I thought the various sort of more action-oriented mechanics were really engaging and interesting, and it was so much more satisfying getting to interact and like observe Pokemon actually out and about doing stuff. You know, when you play the older games, and maybe to a degree in Scarlet and Violet as well, but definitely less so, there's a very clear disconnect between the world and the Pokemon battles, and sort of it's always felt quite disconnected. And Legends completely changed that up. With just Pokemon being out and about in the wild all the time. You can watch them, you can see them like engaging in different things, you know, you can pay attention to their various behaviors. And whilst it was definitely very surface level, and there was definitely a lot that was still to be desired, I thought it was such an exciting, fresh start, and really it was something that I was hoping to see a lot more of in the future. I was hoping that they would make another Legends game. So seeing this is incredibly exciting. But then the title specifically, right? So a lot of people were theorizing that they were going to do sort of like they were calling it like Legends Kyurem, or like something like that. Because when Legends Arceus came out, obviously it was during the time frame where people were expecting Sinnoh remakes, which we did get, and they are very polarizing, unsurprisingly. But we got Legends Arceus alongside that, and it was sort of a different spin on the concept of a remake. And so now, after the release of Generation 9, Scarlet and Violet, people were expecting a remake of some sort of Black and White, and that was accentuated quite a bit by the amount of representation of Generation 5 in the recent DLC. I haven't played the DLC, so I can't really speak on that in too much detail, but from like the trailers and everything else I've seen just of it, there's a lot of callbacks to Unova. So I find it really weird that, as you can see from all of this, this is Gen 6, this is Kalos. Which is a very interesting choice. And obviously, like, Z or Z, whichever one you want to say. This is kind of the crazy one, because when X and Y released, there were so many people that were theorizing about the potential of a Pokemon Z or Z. I'm just gonna say Z going forward because it'll make fellow British people upset probably, but I don't really care. But there were people theorizing about the potential of a Pokemon Z because there were a lot of loose threads in X and Y. Obviously Zygarde was very important, and not just in, well actually, let me reconsider that. Zygarde was very important in the Kalos anime. We got the XY series and then they did an XYZ series, which Zygarde was kind of a focal point of. But Zygarde in the actual games kind of just wasn't important at all. They kind of just existed on the back. Arguably, Zygarde plays more of a role in the Alola games than they do in X and Y, which is kind of saying a lot considering that's the game they were introduced in. So people were theorizing that like they were going to make a Pokemon Z at some point, and obviously they never did. So I find it very curious that it seems like they're doing that now. And the way that this logo was introduced I thought was curious. So we see Pokemon Legends, Z, then this dash, and then this symbol, which I'm assuming is a Greek letter, perhaps? Let's actually very quickly take a look. Sorry, you get to see my browser in action a little bit. Let's see, look at images. It's giving theta a little bit, but like not really. Or lambda, sorry, not theta. Theta is this one, yeah. It's giving gamma a little bit, like a flipped upside down gamma. It's not really clear. If anything, I would assume this maybe relates a little more to this language that they're using, which seems very custom made. Although it's definitely pulling from like Japanese for sure. Like this reminds me of the character from Moo. This looks like a little bit like Ni. So there's something there. But yeah, so like, huh. I'm so curious. Let's watch through this again. So obviously we don't really get any actual details here, which is admittedly a little concerning for a game that's meant to be releasing next year. People have spoken at length about the issues with Pokemon and their fixation on releasing games with such short development times and windows, because, you know, Pokemon gets raked through the coals kind of a lot for having very unpolished and poorly optimized games, and rightfully so, because in a lot of ways they are. But one of the big culprits, at least I believe, for that is these incredibly short development windows that exist between game to game. Like when you compare how many Pokemon games release compared, like within a span of time, compared to something like Zelda, there is a very, very like obvious difference. So like it is a little concerning, but just putting that aside for now and just sort of taking this in as it is. Yeah, I'll keep the volume down a little bit. This is reading, actually that symbol. I recognize this symbol. I can't say where from, but it does feel familiar. But what we're seeing here is a lot of this focus on like a digital aesthetic, right? We've got like this sort of augmented and or virtual. Those words kind of get thrown around interchangeably nowadays, but you get my point. we're getting this sort of digitized landscape. So we're seeing Pikachu run through, we've got Litleo and Pyro here. We've got Flabebe, we've got Furfrou, Klefki. Running through cafes and stuff. This one we get a bit of a wider shot, there's some Fletchling over here. Not sure what that was, it looked a little bit like a Dragonair, but a little hard to tell. Yeah, that's the Dragonair it looks like. Holucha. Some Staryu down here. Gyarados, obviously. Who is this? Who is this? Oh, I can never say that name. Is it Hippopotas? Hippopotas, I think. More Furfrou. Just a lot of Pokemon everywhere. Emolga. And then we get this little scene of the fight. Let's look a little bit more at this wider shot of the area. So, again, they haven't specified anything about what this game is yet. But this is reading to me as like an MMO, which is scary. Very, very scary. But this is reading to me as like taking the Legends concept and expanding it to a like open world multiplayer experience, which in theory sounds awesome. Like I can imagine that being really cool, but I'm sure anyone can imagine that being really cool. What the real question is whether or not they can actually pull it off. But we're seeing all sorts going on here. So like here we have a fight going on. I actually want to pay a bit more attention to the fight itself. Yeah, there's not really too much you can discern from that. Are they? That's Bellsprout. Onyx. Yeah, then we get this big wide shot of the whole city. Obviously Lumiose City, which is like the central city of Kalos. And then we get this shining bit here, and then it transitions to the urban development plan. So here's what I'm wondering. So in Legends Arceus, a key, I think this might be, oh, I think this is the this is either like the Galactic Team symbol. I think that might be what this is. I'd have to double check that. Actually, let's check it right now, because I'm already pulling these up. Pokemon Galactic. What are they called in? I forget the specific name of them in Legends Arceus, but Galactic Team symbol. Legends Arceus Galactic. Oh, Galaxy Team. Is that it? Okay, maybe it's not that symbol. They have a slightly different looking symbol. What about the what's the name of the merchant sect? Merchant. The Ginkgo Guild. No, it doesn't really look like their logo either. Let me just look at the Legends Arceus logo. No, maybe not. Okay, well, ignore that previous point. But the point I was going to make is urban redevelopment plan, right? In Legends Arceus, one of the key elements of that game was the development of why am I blanking on the name? Jubilife. The development of Jubilife Village, it from a tiny little like settlement to a bigger, more fleshed out town. And that was represented both visually with like more houses being built as you did quests and things like that, and also musically you heard the theme of the town progressively develop until right near the end of the game, where it started to pull in elements from the Jubilife City theme from the original Gen 4 games. And that game sort of focused quite heavily on this concept of coming together as a community and working together, and sort of thriving through that union and that cooperation. So what I actually think we're seeing here, despite this like massive focus on like this digital aesthetic, we're also seeing building plans, which, and like it very explicitly says, a vision of beautiful coexistence between people and Pokemon. Urban redevelopment plan, Lumio City. So what this is reading to me is this game is going to at least partially involve the development of Lumio City into what it is in Gen 6. Which is a crazy concept. So that almost suggests to me that we might be looking at like a medieval France sort of approach. Not really sure like what time. I mean, I'm no history buff, but like I don't know if we'd be going as far back as like French Revolution. My guess would be maybe a similar time frame to Legends Arceus, but in France, and exploring it from that side. Which would be really, really cool if that's the case. But yeah, I almost wonder if this is a red herring. Because this, with that context in mind, this is reading to me a lot more like just like a 3D visualized concept for what these plans are trying to do. The music is what's throwing me off though, because the music is implying... The music feels a lot more digital and electronic. So I'm not entirely convinced that that's an accurate estimation. Maybe alternatively we're looking at like Victorian era maybe, and sort of progressing into the modern age. It's hard to say. You can clearly see a lot of infrastructure in these plans. Like, you know, we have the lamp posts and stuff, and the Lumio's tower itself, which, you know, that speaks for itself. You can see like skyscrapers in the background and stuff. But again, this is being framed as a development plan with these building schematics. So I think we're looking at the story of Lumio City's development into Lumio City, which is a really, really cool idea. And there's definitely a lot of unexplored potential in Kalos, so it'd be really interesting to look into that in more detail in a game and sort of see where that goes. And with that context in mind, this is very interesting. So, I mean, based on the hexagonal patterns here, it seems pretty safe to say that Zygarde is going to play a big part in this one. But I don't really know how. I mean, it's hard to speculate too much, really, because... Oh, we're also hearing... You hear accordion there, like, that's very French. We're also hearing an electric piano. And like either a sampled or like digitized voice. So yeah, it's hard to sort of stamp particularly when this is taking place in terms of time in history. But at the very least, we know it's pre-Lumio City's construction. And just based on everything else we're seeing, it sort of implies to me that this is going to be like the Lumio City was built fairly recently, in terms of the chronology of things. But yeah, there's also like this here. I'm so curious as to what this symbol is. I don't really have any ideas at the moment. It's giving vaguely like, obviously this is a very like plant-like motif, which relates back to Zygarde obviously because it's like it's associated quite strongly with like life and like life energy, and like eco is very core to that. It's also giving vaguely like Yggdrasil, but that might just be because I've been in Elden Ring mode for the past couple days, so I'm just seeing it everywhere. But yeah, for fear of not sort of dragging this out too long, I think I'll probably end it there. Okay, just wanted to add something very small into the end here, like I did with the previous reaction. Just a few small things that I didn't quite touch on. So first of all, they did tweet about the game already, and I thought it was curious. They say here, want to see the reveal trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA, or ZA. So first of all, that's the title. It's not Pokemon Legends Z, it's Pokemon Legends ZA. It's both of those symbols together. That's not just like a logo thing. Obviously the Z is very self-explanatory, that's Zygarde. We kind of know that based on the visuals of it and just, it's Kalos, it's Zygarde. The A is really weird though. Off the top of my head, there isn't really... Actually, now that I'm, right at this moment as I'm thinking about it, I'm immediately thinking of AZ and Floette. Twitter is being really weird. I don't think it's gonna want to load this. I was gonna see if I could, actually, I'll just pull up the logo. Actually, I can just flip back to the video. I'm silly. I wonder. Yeah, there's maybe a connection there to AZ and Floette. He is like, I forget how old he is. I guess he's like 3,000 years old. Or like 300 years old. I forget which number it is. He's an old guy. So I would be very surprised if we didn't see him here. Actually, it would make a lot of sense to see him here. And with the game being called ZA, it would make sense to see AZ in it. And he's probably going to be pretty central to the plot if I had to imagine. But the other thing I wanted to very quickly touch on that I didn't really talk about, I'll just flip back to the video for this because it's probably easier to show it. Mega Evolution. I think I very roughly brushed on this, but I didn't really talk about it in detail. They're bringing Mega Evolution back, which is super interesting. Obviously, like in general, people really love Mega Evolution, and it gets talked about a lot. There's always outcries from fans that want to see Mega Evolution back. So I find it interesting that they are opting to do that. I have my own thoughts about Mega Evolution. I think conceptually it's really cool. And it's really nice getting to see old Pokemon designs sort of reimagined and sort of iterated on and extended. It does have its own issues though, and I think there are issues with Mega Evolution that future game gimmicks like terrestrialization, for example, did sort of address. So I'm curious to see how it gets adapted in Legends ZA, I guess. But one final point I just sort of wanted to end on is I find it very interesting that they seem to be pulling from a lot of things that fans have been requesting for a long time. So, you know, Pokemon Z, you've got a new Legends title, you've got the return of Mega Evolution. It's very interesting that we're sort of seeing a lot of things that have been requested for a very long time coming back, which reads to me as Pokemon sort of listening quite directly to the fan base, which is nice, but it's also a little concerning because, you know, I don't believe you should ever trust a fan base too heavily, personally, because there are going to be people that have very genuine complaints that hold a lot of ground. There are also going to be people that complain about a lot of things, and people that get very easily upset about a lot of things. So my hope is that whatever sort of input they have received from the fan base, they've soaked it in and they've really digested it, and they're not just blindly sort of appealing to fans. Because obviously I think that's a pretty natural concern based on just the sheer amount of things that are, it's like a lot of key, almost like buzzwords, right? Like Mega Evolution, Pokemon Z, new Legends game. It's a little concerning, but I'm gonna stay optimistic and hope that, you know, this is gonna be good. I hope so. So yeah, that was about all I had to add here. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think, so please feel free to leave a comment if you're curious and want to sort of discuss this a little bit more. And yeah, that'll do me for now. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!